Hey guys!
What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Van Rambles.
This is episode 2 of Van Rambles.
And you may be wondering why Koi has joined us today.
Well, that's because today's topic is about how we got Koi and essentially how we ended up with 3 dogs.
3 dogs.
Unfortunately, she's not going to sit here with us during the whole episode because since she's a puppy, she can't sit still. So, I'm going to run her back to the van real quick, but I'll be right back.
Hurry back.
Want to hold this? Want to hold this?
Oh, I'm holding it.
You fist bumped it? Alright, ready, Koi? Let's go. Come on, let's go. Come on.
Where do we start with Koi?
I'm obsessed with this story, and I know I said this last time on Van Rambles, but like I feel like every story we tell is like.
Hopefully they're all going to be exciting.
I guess I'll take off on this one because it was kind of my sneaking around. So Brandon and I were back in Augusta, Georgia, just to do some minor things on the van, finish up some projects, help his brother out on his build, and I decided to pick up work while I was there. So I was driving around for work, and I pull up to this house I usually deliver for, and I noticed this really mangy looking dog. So let's go back actually real quick. I have always wanted 3 dogs, and Brandon has always been a hard no.
Very hard.
Very hard no. Like he said, if we got a 3rd dog, we would probably have to sell the van. Like, it wouldn't work.
Yeah.
And of course, I don't just have ideas that don't make sense that I haven't thought through, you know? And so, anyway, I've always wanted this, but didn't see it happening anytime soon. So I pull up to this house, and there's this mangy-looking tiny dog that comes out from underneath the porch. And it just is, like, red and swollen and just looks awful, but is, like, so happy to see me. And I was like, what? I've never seen this dog before, and I've delivered here multiple times. So I go up to the front door to drop off what I need, and I ask her, whose dog is this? And she actually says, well, actually, she got dropped off a while back, but we don't know where she came from, and we don't do anything with her. We don't feed her, water her, anything. She just stays here. And that just tore my heart because I was like, they're not giving her anything. And she is obviously has something going on. And I was like, well, if I find her a home, in all honesty, I truly was like, okay, I guess in my mind at that point, I truly just wanted to find her a home. Like, I didn't care if it was us, someone else. I knew I wanted to get her out of the situation.
Yeah, if you don't know, Sarah is an animal lover, so if she sees an animal in distress, she's super prone to help that dog or whatever.
To do what I can for whatever it is.
And so her intention was, let me get this sickly looking dog, let me get her help, and let's find her a good home.
Let's figure it out. We'll figure it out after I get her some medical attention. I don't care what's up to that point. Once we get there, then we'll figure it out. So the lady literally said that if I could find her a home, I could have her. Like, she didn't care. She was like, you can do whatever you want with the dog. I open the back door, and she jumps right in. And so I'm like, okay, well, I guess you're coming with me. I don't know what I'm going to do after this, but you're coming with me, and I haven't even told Brandon.
Yeah, still no call to me.
No call.
Whatever.
So, because I'm in, like, mother mode. Like, I'm in, like, let's get this animal help. I don't care if Brandon says yes or no because I'm getting it medical attention at this point. She was mangy looking, like she was swollen. She was like red, like her whole body was like red. She looked like she was missing fur. Like, it was just like awful. Like, you could just tell she was just fluid filled. It was just like the worst. So, and before, not only did I want to check that, but before we brought her home to our dogs, I wanted to make sure she had a clean bill of health. I didn't want her giving anything to our pups. Finally, I find a vet who's like a half hour away who can take her in. So they come out and they give me this paperwork. And I have to fill it out. And at the bottom, I guess I thought it said emergency contact. And so I wrote Brandon's name and wrote his phone number and give the information back. And they were like, well, we'll call you when she's ready. She called me back, the vet, and she informed me that I must have wrote the wrong number on the wrong line because she called someone by the name of Brandon, and my heart sunk because at that point he still didn't know about the dog. And I was like, oh gosh, like he knows that I have a dog with me. Like, why else would a vet call asking for Sarah? Like, it's like stupid obvious.
Well, let me preface by saying this. So I've always wanted a certain type of dog, and I wanted to name her Avalanche. And so I'm working on my brother's van, helping him build his van, and this is while Sarah's at work, and I get this phone call from the vet, and they say, your dog Avalanche is ready to get picked up. And so I'm like, Avalanche? And she's like, yeah, your dog. And I was like, no, I don't have a dog named Avalanche. And like I was so confused because Avalanche is a really unique name for a dog and for them to call me. And she was like, yeah, for Brandon, this is your number, and read my number back. And I was like, yeah, that's my number, but no. And she goes, okay, I'm sorry, hangs up. And I just sit there and I'm like, this is so weird. Still doesn't like click what's going on behind the scenes. And I even call Sarah and she doesn't answer because I'm like ready to tell her this like crazy bizarre story about how there's somebody named Brandon that owns a dog named Avalanche. Like,
what are the chances?
What are the chances?
You text right after and go, call me when you can.
Okay.
And so then I was like, he never does that unless it's something serious. I was like, he knows. He knows. Like, he's calling me because he's about to lose it. I think I know what this is about. Can we talk when I get home? But like, I was pretty much like, but can you let me explain myself? And he was like, what? And I was like,
which I was even more confused because I was like, wait, do you already know there's another guy named Brandon with a dog named Avalanche? Like, I was even more confused.
But I just made myself sound busted. Like, even if it wasn't.
You did it, I was just like even more confused.
That is so funny.
I was like, this is so bizarre. What is going on? And she finally calls me.
I do call him. I end up calling him on my way back.
And she kind of lays it all out. And
I said, before you get mad, can I please explain everything?
Yeah.
Before you say anything.
And granted, this is literally 3 weeks before our wedding as well.
Oh, yeah.
And so, like, we're in Augusta, and we're finalizing everything for the wedding. And after the wedding, we're going out west. Like, that's been our plan. And so, when she tells me all this, that's what's going through my head. I was like, we have a wedding we're getting ready for. You know, now we have to have a third dog, figure out what they're going to do.
Well, what about the wedding? What about this? Like, we're going out west after. Where's she going to sleep? Where's she going to stay? Like,
so many things.
There was a lot of stressors already.
Yeah, so that's what was going through my head. And it's just like, we have basically 3 or 4 weeks before we head out west. So we have to find her home fast while also finalizing our wedding. And so my stress level was sky high, but I also was like, I felt for Coy, you know, and I understood what position Sarah was in, and I was like, I couldn't say no, and but it was hard for me to be like, yippee!
Yeah, right, yeah.
But I was like very adamant that we have to find her home, like starting now.
The reason for her breakouts and stuff was because she was eating like literally just crap on the streets, like garbage, whatever she could find, and she obviously has food allergies. She was like clean bit of health, just looking like she got thrown in a blender. Like, it was rough. Yeah, Brandon saw her and he like felt awful for her. Like, he admitted she was a really cute dog. And the very first night we had her, we were all in Trent's van hanging out and the dogs were playing outside and Coy wasn't there. We found her sleeping in our van. And that just like, I was like, she already knows this is home. Like,
she found safety in our van, which was really cute.
Which was the sweetest thing because she hadn't been in there yet. Like, she didn't, I mean, that was the first day. They just stayed in the yard. And she went straight to our van and was like, I'm sleeping here. And Brandon made a rule when we first had her because at this point we were still finding a home for her. And so the first, week? You made her sleep on the couch?
3 or 4 days. Our dinette converts into a sofa bench. And I wanted Coy to sleep there because I didn't want her sleeping in our bed because I didn't want Ziggy and Kissy to feel intruded upon, because that's their space. And so I just wanted her to know her space and know that Ziggy and Kissy still had their space.
So another concern he had was that we don't know if she's going to do well in the van, in a sense of like, she a chewer? Is she going to freak out when she's in a vehicle? Like how is she potty trained? Like what, like, you know, you don't know the dog.
Back up, Sarah's been wanting a third dog. Like throughout the whole build, she's like, we're getting a third dog. And I'm always hard no.
Yeah.
And the reason for that is because we got really lucky with two awesome dogs, Ziggy and Kissy, that do so well in the van. They're not chewers, they're not barkers, you know, they are just like perfect for van life. And so getting a third dog, I didn't want to jeopardize.
It's a gamble. It really is.
Yeah, van life. All that we've worked for, the year and a half that we built the van, and we're finally about to embark on our, you know, big journey.
Adventure.
You know, I didn't want that third dog to jeopardize it for the van.
Yeah.
Because we got lucky twice. What are the odds we're going to get lucky a third time?
So she ended up being perfect. She was a totally different element that
Yeah, it's
we
it.
wanted to possibly add.
Yeah, I mean, we started looking for a home. Like, we would post about her, and as soon as someone would be like, hey, I might be interested, or I might know someone's interested, it would break Sarah's heart. And then seeing that broke my heart. But I'm like, no, we cannot have a third dog. So we had her about 2 or 3 weeks by this point, and she was just doing so well, like really well in the van. Sarah ended up talking me into letting her get up on the bed, and when she got up on the bed the first night, she literally laid in...
Let me defend myself, because I didn't even have to try that hard. I was like, oh, cool, whatever. And he goes, okay, just for a little bit. So we let her up. She was so excited, and she just slid in right between us and just like sealed it, and then just
Yeah, like
went to
she
sleep.
filled the void, the last void on our bed. So I was like, she does fit, and I'm like, hey, she kind of do fit.
She kind of do fit though.
Because like how we have a queen size bed, and I lay here, Sarah lays here, and then Ziggy and Kissy would lay like this, and then Koi just fit in that little
Right
middle
in the
spot.
middle.
And so it was like line of dogs, line of person, line of person. And so we actually fit really nicely and really snug.
Really nicely. I know it sounds crazy, but we actually fit really nicely.
So not only did she fit well in the van, she was just super smart. She was easy to train. She was already potty trained. She didn't scratch, she didn't chew, and she learned her name like super quick.
Like day one, we named her Koi, and she responded to it. Like, what?
And also another thing that blew me away was whenever the dogs are in the van, we say, go get up on the bed. Like, and that's what they know. They know, go get up on the bed. They know what that means. As soon as we said it to Koi, she knew what that meant.
Yeah.
She went right up on the bed as soon as like, go get up. And just stuff like that, little things just kind of blew me away.
Yeah, she just caught on so fast in watching the other dogs and knowing routine, like within a day.
Yeah, I think
She was like,
she caught on to routine really well. And so that's kind of what convinced me to keep her, because she did work so well and she caught on so quick. After having her for a few weeks, I've started to become attached to her because she is so perfect for our lifestyle. And so I'm trying to figure out a way to be like, I kind of want to keep her. And so this is the couple days before our wedding, and I don't know how to tell Sarah. And then I was thinking, usually couples on their wedding morning exchange gifts, like a wedding gift, and I was like, that's perfect. I can give Koi as my wedding gift, and I just think she would enjoy that a lot.
that was like one of the most special gifts I've ever gotten in my life. And the way he did it and presented it was simple and absolutely perfect. So wedding morning, we exchanged gifts. I receive a letter and a little box. I go to open it, and I immediately start bawling my eyes out, because inside that box was a little pink bone-shaped name tag with a gem, like a little diamond on it, that said Koi. And I lost it. Like, I was crying so hard, like when you start, it starts hurting your throat and you start heaving, like you're breathing, you're sucking in wind. I started crying that hard that like all the girls who were around were like, what is it? What is it? And I couldn't tell them. Like, I tried and I ended up having to just hold it up for them to look at it, because I was like, I can't right now, I'm losing it. It was literally the most beautiful gift I have ever received, because I was so in love with her and what kind of dog she was, and couldn't imagine having a life without her.
She was already part of the family at this point. It was just finalizing.
Yeah, everything about her was perfect for our life, and then knowing that we could provide her such an incredible life that she hadn't experienced yet was so rewarding.
Yeah, we always talk about how, like, Coy, did you know that you were gonna get snatched up into a van and drive across the country into the mountains? Did you know that? And so,
oh my gosh, that is literally my favorite. We literally almost tell her that every day. I'm like, did you know you're gonna be an out west dog? Like, did you know? And like, we've gotten to watch her learn how to swim. Like, she didn't like water at first. She was really weird about
very timid
it.
about water.
Yeah. But then she watched the dogs do it and saw how fun it was, and now she's more of a water dog than they ever could be.
She's a dock jumping dog.
Yeah.
She goes underwater. She snorkels.
She literally goes underwater to swim.
So
it is like
she's a one of a kind dog.
very one of a kind, and we could go on for hours talking about all her little things that we love.
Yeah, but she just fits so well with us, and 3 dogs wasn't in our original plan. Well, definitely wasn't in mine.
It wasn't a little bit
Might
mine.
have been Sarah's.
So I'm not gonna lie, I kind of designed the table turning into a sofa for reasons that I imagined would happen eventually. He did all the specs and figuring out like the detail work of how it was gonna actually happen. But I might have had a little bit of a plan behind it.
A vision to have a 3rd dog and have somewhere for them to sleep.
Because his biggest thing was, where is it gonna sleep? And I was like, the sofa bench, duh.
I like to think that things worked out, but I also feel somewhat bamboozled. So yeah, I like to think that things just worked out in our favor, but I also feel somewhat bamboozled. But I don't regret it. Living with 3 dogs has been really awesome, and just giving them an awesome life and showing them adventure has been really touching to us. So
they all love having a pack, like this like finished like little pack of crazy animals.
this wolf pack.
They love it.
Pack of hounds.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
And we freaking did it.
We did it.
We're doing it. And that's living in a van with 3 dogs.
Thanks for tuning in. See you next time, guys.